Thank you very much. We'll move on to the mayor's address. During the month of March, I attended 16 meetings on county and or municipal business. At the Shawwoods Education Center board meeting on Thursday, March 24th, 2023, it was reported that staff have been very busy with school board bookings. Month of April is completely booked. 4 Mondays are still available in May and 11 days available in June. Rick Clyde has volunteered once again for the maple syrup tapping and processing demonstrations, which will finish on April the 8th, 2023. On March 24th, 2023, I attended the public funding announcement for the Renfrew County Virtual Triage Center by our MPP John Yakubuski for 2023 and beyond. On March 28th, 2023, the Special Projects and Economic Development Committee held its first meeting. It was great to meet the volunteers who have joined this committee and share the municipality's strategic plan achievements and receive feedback from the committee on new ideas and initiatives moving forward. North Algona Wilberforce Easter egg hunt is planned for Saturday, April the 8th, 2023 from 1 till 3 p.m. Special thanks to the Shawwoods Education, the Eatonville Rotary Club, and the North Algona Recreation Committees for the planning and support of this event. Face painting, a storybook walk, and banner bread making will also be part of the exciting event. On March 29th, 2023, at the meeting of County Council, Ms. Joanne Brooks did a presentation about ending violence against women. A copy of the presentation and the resolution that was passed by County Council is attached as information. County Council also had presentations from EORN, Rogers Communication, and Bell Canada on the cell gap and high-speed fiber construction projects. The completion date for these projects is December 2025. On Monday, April 27th, 2023, there will be an asset management presentation for municipal staff and elected councilors at the Eagles Nest at Eatonville from 9:30 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. And that is my mayor's address. I have a motion that council accepts the April 4th, 2023 mayor's address as presented, moved by Councillor Buchwald, seconded by Councillor Burke. Councillor Burke?
Yes.
Councillor Buchwald?
Yes.
Councillor Robinson?
Yes.
Councillor Recchia.
Yes, but there's one correction to the date. The Monday, April 27th. That I think is a Thursday. Because I was looking at attending it.
Okay. That's the one right at the bottom.
Yes.
Yes, it's Thursday.
It is a Thursday. Okay, my apologies.
Is it on the 24th?
No, I think.
No, I'm pretty sure it's the 27th.
Because I checked just to make sure. I think Monday, March 27th, that was the March.
So I'll just put not as presented, but as amended. And yes, so that's carried. Okay. As we gather this evening, I'd like to acknowledge on behalf of council and our community that we are meeting on the traditional territory of the Algonquin people. We would like to thank the Algonquin people and express our respect and support for their rich history. We are extremely grateful for their many and continued displays of friendship. We also thank all the generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years. So are there any declarations of pecuniary interest in the general nature thereof? Seeing none, we'll move to the adoption of the minutes. We have a motion that the March 21st, 2023 special meeting and the March 21st, 2023 regular meeting minutes be accepted as presented. And they're moving a second, and moved by Councillor Buchwald, seconded by Councillor Robinson. Are there any additions, corrections, or omissions?
You have a correction to the resolution to be the March 15th special meeting.
Okay, I've made that change. For the mover and seconder, okay. Yes, so I'll call the vote. Council Burke.
Yes.
Council Buckle.
Yes.
Council Robinson.
Yes.
Council Rickenfeldt.
Yes,
And a yes. Carried, thank you. We have no delegations tonight, so we'll go on to reports. Item 7.1 is the Ottawa Valley Food Co-op. I have a motion that council accepts the report as presented, and further, the council grants the use of snow drifters for the local nonprofit Ottawa Valley Food Co-op at no cost on May the 11th. 2023, I presume. And you're moved by Council Robinson, seconded by Council Burke. Comments, questions? Council Rickenfeldt.
I think it's a great idea. However, I'm just, and at no cost, that's great for them too. The only thing is I'm wondering if we could ask them maybe just to like either clean up or just tidy up before they left, because that's one last thing for us to probably do, whether it's putting tables and chairs back to where they were or collecting garbage and that.
And that's just direction and the staff.
We can provide that with that information.
That'd be great.
It did build cleaning time into the script.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
That's great, because I mean, like, some people would think I'm renting and I can just leave it the way it is, but I mean, it is nice, that helps us too with custodial hours and stuff. Thanks.
Any other questions, comments? Call the vote, Council Burke.
Yes.
Buckle.
Yes.
Council Robinson.
Yes.
Council Rickenfeldt.
Yes,
And a yes. Carried, thank you. Item 7.2 is a community housing discussion. I have a motion that council accepts the discussion on community housing report as presented, and further that council approves the use of the Lake Dory Lodge or another available municipal facility to host an event for the public on April 13th to gather feedback for the Affordable Housing Rural Innovation Pilot Grant. I'm gonna move it a second, please. Moved by Councilor Robinson, seconded by Councilor Burke. Questions, comments? Councilor Rickenfeldt.
it'll be warm enough then.
That's why I said another venue, maybe, if it's
Okay.
not.
All right, and also they will probably clean up after themselves too.
Yeah.
Perfect.
There's no food or anything. It's
No.
more of like a number.
Yeah, I just think this time of the year though, so much mud on your shoes,
Yes.
and it could, like I said, it could be cold.
Is this just, I have a question, is this part of the committee, the local housing initiative committee?
So it's not for the local committee, it's for the Ottawa Valley Unified.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that includes all of the groups from the different communities?
Yeah, anyone would be invited, or anyone in the community, and especially developers or carpenters or people who would be benefiting from building. Yeah,
Yeah, I was thinking more of the one that Ish has started with the different groups from different communities, like there's one from Madawaska Valley and Pembroke. And
yes,
so they would be coming.
they're the hosts, they would be the organizer.
Okay. Great, thank you. I hope there's a big turnout.
I hope so too. Well, or even just the right people come, like, and
Yes,
yeah, work together.
okay, we'll call the vote. Council Burke,
Yes.
Council Buckle,
Yes.
Council Robinson,
Yes.
Council Rickenfeldt,
Yes,
and a yes, that's carried. Thank you. Item 7.3 is the liquor sand. I have a motion that council accepts the liquor sand RFP report is presented and accepts the lowest combined price for winter sand and winter supply from RJ Zell and Son at $41,965. Moved by Council Robinson, seconded by Council Buckle. Comments, questions? Seeing none, Council Burke,
Yes.
Council Buckle,
Yes.
Councilor Robinson,
Yes.
Councilor Reggie Shanto,
Yes,
yes. Carried, thank you. Item 7.4 is the Township Union Library report. I have a motion that council accepts the March 2023 Township Union Public Library and the CEO report is presented. And further approves the 2023 Township Union Public Library budget as presented at the joint budget presentation. And I get a mover second, moved by Councilor Burke, seconded by Councilor Robinson. Comments, questions? I just had a comment and I'm sure the library staff is aware of it. I think it's Sarah Polly is the woman's name who was doing a film in Renfrew about the ending violence against women. And anybody who wasn't, because they were sold out for that viewing, but what they were planning to do was take that presentation to the various libraries in Renfrew County so that anybody who hadn't seen it in Renfrew could take it in at the local library. So maybe if you could let us know when that would be coming to the Eganville, like the Montreal Union Library.
Yes.
I certainly would be interested in going. Any other questions, comments? Seeing none, Councilor Burke.
Yes.
Councilor Buckland.
Yes.
Councilor Robinson.
Yes.
Councilor Rector Shanto.
yes,
And yes. Okay, thank you. Item 7.5 is the Island View culverts. I have a motion that council accepts the public works report as presented and further agrees not to proceed with the Island View culvert project. Can I get a move in a second? Moved by Councilor Buckle, seconded by Councilor Shanto. Comments, questions? Councilor Burke.
I think the lake hasn't come up at all yet. And I think since they've done that water study on Round Lake and Golden Lake, I don't think there's a need for that right now. That's just to stop the water from flowing over the road like backwards.
It was.
And I don't think there's a need for that there now.
I would tend to agree with you. I think that Township River Water Management Plan has worked so far fairly well. And certainly should mitigate or certainly will help. I mean, not to say it would never happen again, but the chances of it happening again are much less than before that amendment to the water management plan.
Yeah, people are saying they have never seen Golden Lake and Round Lake as well as they are. So it's a good.
And we had a meeting last week on the spring freshet, which hasn't even started yet.
No.
I mean, the snowpack really in the park is still fairly significant. But the good news is, especially in our area, the freeze thaw cycles has been very, very moderate, so we're not seeing that huge surge of water that we sometimes do. Any other comments, questions? Seeing none, Councilor Burns.
Yes.
Councilor Bucklow.
Yes.
Councilor Robinson.
Yes.
Councilor Rector Shanto.
yes,
And yes, that's carried. Thank you. Item 7.6 is the Point Church and Jessup Road pulverization. So I have a motion, council accepts the Public Works Point Church and Jessup Road report as presented and further accepts staff's recommendation not to pulverize Point Church Road and Jessup Road in 2023. And further that council resolution 2023-03-21-086. The council approves the following 2023 public works projects: Golden Lake sidewalks, Jessup Road, Point Church Road, and Duquette Road be rescinded. Can we bring up the report, please? Councilor Buckle.
And just a question on that. if we're rescinding that entire previous motion, that means that all 4 projects are then canceled.
So at this point, council could do a further, a new amendment.
But yes, to answer your question, that one would be rescinded. And
So
then
we would have to do a new one to do the other 2 projects.
Yes, I didn't get a mover and a second yet, so you're moving?
And remember who did the original?
Oh, yes, yes, the original was moved by Councilor Buckwolf and seconded by Councilor Robinson. So if we're going to come up with a new resolution, if those same 2 movers and seconders would be agreeable, then we will stick with those 2 councilors as the movers and seconders. To rescind, yes, to rescind the original.
Can we rescind a motion that's already been confirmed by bylaw?
Yes.
It hasn't been confirmed. Oh,
We would have done a confirmatory bylaw at the end of that meeting.
we would have, but we have done it in the past. We
Okay.
did a motion that was done at another meeting.
So, it's just my opinion, I think we should be doing it in 2 separate motions, one to rescind. And then another one to adopt changes.
We can do that. So,
I think it would be a lot cleaner if we ever have to look back at it down the road.
Or just, if we even remove the, we take the first 2 sentences off of this one, and then it just becomes the resolution to rescind. And those first 2 sentences could then be part of the new resolution. So this is the motion to rescind the council resolution 2023-03-21-086. The council approves the following public works projects: Golden Lake sidewalks, Jessup Road, Punchurch Road, and Pet Road be rescinded. Council Buckwolf, Council Robinson, you okay with that?
Yes.
I'll call a vote. Council Byrd,
Yes.
Council Buckwolf,
Yes.
Council Robinson,
Yes.
Council Champo,
Yes,
And yes, so that was carried. So this is the second resolution.
This is the one for
Okay.
the report.
Yeah,
Mr. Mayor, before you read that into the record. We've already canceled that project, so I don't believe we need to pass this resolution. But modify this resolution to put the other two projects back in might be better. We still have to accept the report, but I'm just looking at the second
Put back the gold
part.
lake.
oh, I see what you're saying, yeah,
Because
that's
Golden
right,
Lake
you
is
have to
not
put the
off the
Golden
table.
Lake sidewalks back in.
I think Michelle had a comment.
Yeah.
Just trying.
No, I was just gonna say, so the council, direction at the last meeting of council was, staff was to look at, possibly pulverizing Point Church Road and Jessup Road.
Yeah,
And so this report, addresses that direction from council.
so. Yes, let's bring up the report.
Yeah, this resolution probably should have been done first before we rescinded the other one.
Yeah, probably.
But here's your result.
So my thought was, I understand, I know we had. Concerns and complaints from people when we did, Grist Mill Road the same way. And they complained about the mud, the potholes,
The same on,
and
same
the
on,
same on Crooked Rock.
Yes.
But having said that, the flip side of that is that if we don't pulverize the road, then our staff is going out with cold patch, trying to patch the potholes, which become more and more numerous. And we're investing time and material on a road that we're gonna pulverize anyways. So it's kind of a catch-22, and I don't know which is the best route to go. I just think that when we talk about use of our resources, it's better to pulverize. Maybe we take the complaints from the public. Because otherwise, we're just, like, I drove Jessup Road last year, and I know there's a couple sections that are certainly bad, especially the low areas. But that first 2 kilometers of Point Church is almost bad from the beginning. Till you get to, when you get to, what's the name of the road? Yes, yes,
I think the worst part of it is to not make Lake.
to Main Lake Road, yes. And do we keep patching those holes, or do we just pulverize? This Council Rick.
So I can see either way, it looks like we're gonna be doing road maintenance on those 2 roads until they're fully done. I guess my question is, like, personally, I think we have to go with what Public Works is requesting us to do. Because I think maybe they have taken that into account, so I would feel bad about overruling them on the fact that pulverization is good, because they're saying it's not good. I get what you're saying though, Mr. Mayor, like, to me, you're putting patch on, so you're either gonna put patch on, or you're either gonna go and fill up the part that was pulverized, so it's nearly like we're still sending our staff out there. So, in my point of view, if Public Works is saying we shouldn't pulverize, then maybe we shouldn't pulverize. either way, we're gonna have to maintain a road. And then from my point of view, it's better we choose the worst road and we do that because all the equipment will be there to do the whole road.
Councilor Buckle.
Yeah, I'm kind of with have the same thoughts as Janet. Because whether we're patching it with coal patch or whether we're patching and grading once it's been pulverized, we're still doing work on it for the year. The only advantage to it is that it has a year then to pack for surface treating next year. That's the advantage to it. Again, I don't want to second guess our public works people either.
I have to agree with them, like. They're the ones taking the slack if people, you know, the mud and potholes. It's public works that has to deal with the people, so. It's not that good that we undercut them.
No, that's certainly council's decision. So just clarification for the staff then. So this is just to deal with those two roads. But then we would still need another resolution for the sidewalks.
These were, yes.
Councilor Burke.
The sidewalks have to go ahead this year because the county's going to be doing them when they're doing the main streets here, right?
That's right, yeah. And even our public works agrees that that's a project. that
Oh, yeah.
should be completed.
And Duquette Road was also on that resolution.
It was.
We'll have to decide on that too, if we're going to proceed with that this year.
I think according to our budget, we may have to push that one back another year. Because I think Public Works also said that UCAT would probably not be done this year.
So, okay, so at the beginning of the year, we had 4 projects.
Yes.
So sidewalk, Jessup Road, Point Church Road, and Duquette Road. So earlier in the year, we approved that resolution to do all 4 projects. However, when we had budget discussions, we had included in the budget sidewalk projects and Jessup Road and Church Road, but we hadn't included Duquette, I believe it was. However, after the budget meeting, we felt that we wouldn't have the funding to do all those projects. So that's when council made this with the staff to come back with some costings for pulverizing these 2 roads.
And this report is recommending that we go ahead and do Jessup Road, but leave Point Church still next to it.
So that's one of the
That's one of the alternatives.
The recommendation in this report is that Point Church and Jessup Road isn't pulverized in 2023. However, the alternatives was we did Jessup Road and left Point Church for next year, or we could do half of Jessup Road in 2023 and complete it in 2024. Subject to budget approval.
Councilor Burke.
I think we should even and do it all next year because you can't do half and it costs the contractors to take their equipment out and everything. That's only costs us more money. With everything today, like it's just.
So you're recommending the third alternative is rehabilitate Jessup Road this year and leave Point Church till next year.
If it's in the budget, within the budget. Now, I know we have to find a lot of money in the budget.
Did council agree with that alternative?
So just to do Jessup Road.
Joseph Road, yes.
and Duquette would be not
Would be on.
along with Point Church.
Should be this road and the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm really unfamiliar with Duquette Road is, there's Duquette Road.
So you know where,
Seriously, equipment
Searson's, yeah.
on 60.
Okay, all right,
So if you turn into there towards their parking lot, you can't go beers off to the left. It's the old highway.
okay, all right, I was just wondering if it was close to one of those other two projects, but it's not, no, it's
No.
totally independent, gotcha.
And it's that one in the rear of that shape.
There's a steep hill on that road.
Yeah.
And it had, I don't know if it was paved or, Township. But it's starting to fail as well.
I think that was still old asphalt from.
I think that, yeah,
That's from the original highway.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and that's a road that you gotta do it all in 1 year, because you can't, you got
Exactly.
gravel over winter. When that one gets to be done, it needs to be done in 1 year.
But it does, yeah. Because if you try and eat a crowd, it's just gonna wash out.
It's how much kilometers and.
I don't even know if it's a kilometer long.
Oh, it would be
It
pretty
might
much,
be.
it would be from the top of the mountain.
Might be. Anywhere from 800 meters to a kilometer, I think.
Yeah, it's not that long.
And is Point Church Road longer than Jessup Road?
No, I'm sure.
Okay.
The section is really bad.
If it wouldn't do the whole thing.
Right,
Is it the top end of Church Point or the bottom?
No, it's where you turn off of 41 at the bottom at this end. From there to Lake Road.
Oh, okay.
There's one section that's like
totally done.
Swiss cheese.
Oh, you on highway there too, yeah, there.
It was.
Well, it was the old highway, and then it was recycled asphalt that was put down on that first 2 kilometers. And that's the part that's breaking up now, and, yeah. So am I hearing any other, are we gonna, accept the first alternative?
Well, we can refer to budgets, back to the budget process.
The only caution is that if we agree to it tonight, they can go ahead and start doing the RFPs, and correct me if I'm wrong, they think they have the RFP ready to go, but they're waiting for
Yes.
direction from council. If we wait to budget, it's going to delay it for another,
Weeks.
at least 2 weeks, yeah.
And then it'll
Well,
be-
actually, on that sort of question for staff, they didn't start any of the processes for those other projects?
No,
No, okay. Do we have a cost for doing Jessup this
Yeah,
year?
we did,
so approximately 380,000. Is the estimated.
is that in the market price.
That was the estimated price.
yeah,
Would you happen to have the estimate for Point Church Road on hand?
240.
And which one was our priority in this, in our asset plan, and which one's in the worst condition outside of the plan? I realize the public works director isn't here, so I'm usually putting you on the spot with that, but.
I believe they both were on the backlog listing for the asset management plan. And I know that we receive a lot of complaints about Jessup Road. And I also know that, yes, there is one section on Point Church that is in the rehabilitation.
So it's a coin flip.
Councilor Becky Shaw.
Okay, so just like the one thing, it would be nice if the public works person is here. The one thing is, that we are closer to Point Church Road, so it might be quicker and easier to repair because we're not trucking things all the way to Jessup Road. And I think we have to choose one, and so if they, I'm hoping Public Works put Jessup Road in because they thought it was more important and they didn't flip them, right? If they thought Point Church Road was important, then I feel like they might have put that in 2023 and put Jessup Road in 2024. So
Okay. that makes
that's
sense,
kind of
yeah.
what I'm going with is Jessup Road. And Point Church Road,
In 2024.
that's right, along with the sidewalks and Golden Lake this year.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. So I'll call the vote on the
First,
first alternative. Can we go back to your resolution?
Yeah.
Or do we have to change the resolution?
You have to.
Well, Mr. Mayor, if the resolution is worded just to accept the report, that we not pulverize,
mhm,
then we could put all the other projects on one resolution, correct?
mhm.
And that's what this one does. It says,
Just to,
to not pulverize Point Church to Jessup Road.
mhm.
And then just do up a new resolution for the projects that we are proceeding with. Just trying to save Laura some typing.
Did I have a mover and a seconder for this? Or did we just move right to the report?
I know there was discussion with Councilor Robinson and
I
I.
don't have a mover and a seconder, okay.
I thought it was Robinson Buckwell.
That was to rescind
Yeah.
the previous one. So this is a new one. Can I get a mover and a second? Moved by Councilor Buckwell, seconded by Councilor Byrne. Councilor Byrne,
Yes,
Councilor Buckwell,
Yes,
Councilor Robinson,
Yes.
Councilor Rakishon.
Yes, yes,
And a yes, so that one is carried, and then we'll need a new one. So this one I'm just. That can be shredded, right? So the motion is that council approves the following road projects for 2023, the sidewalks in Rome Lake and Jessup Road redevelopment. Moving to second, moved by Council Byrne, seconded by Council Reggie Schoenfeld. Council Byrne,
Yes,
Council Buckle,
Yes.
Council Robinson,
Yes,
Council Reggie Schoenfeld,
Yeah,
and I'm a yes. That's carried. Next item is the draft budget, and I think staff, Michelle, you just wanted to speak to that.
So, draft budget is still a work in progress. So I would, my question for tonight is, so, we have, so we would like to have one more, special budget meeting just to deal with the budget. So there's two, options. One is a special meeting to be held Monday, April 17th at 7 p.m. The second option would be to have a afternoon meeting, a special meeting on April 18th, which is our regular council meeting. So a special meeting could be held at 3 o'clock in the afternoon to go through budget. And then we do have the public budget meeting tentatively scheduled for later that evening. So at that point, the budget would be more or less.
so you were thinking on the 18th, we'd also have the public meeting?
Later that evening, yes.
See, personally, I don't think that I'm like prepared, like I still think there's lots of stuff that we're gonna tweak. And I can't see this because we're not having a meeting next budget, right? So I just don't know how we can get all that stuff accomplished and have the public budget meeting.
next quarter, which we, 18.
The 18th.
That's a little tight.
I'd be concerned with that as well, because if we don't come to a consensus at that point on the budget, then we have that meeting already booked. I'm also not available the afternoon of the 18th.
Okay.
I can do an evening meeting on the 17th.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so
Wouldn't it be better to do the public meet on the 23rd?
we could, what's council's
Well, I'm
schedule?
just thinking that trying to do all of that at the same time is a little.
I guess I'm optimistic. I think we can finalize it on the Monday and we could bring it to public on Tuesday.
Okay,
That's just my thought.
And on the 25th, we have our strategic planning.
Yes.
So we're already booked.
yeah, I would prefer to do it on the 17th.
17th in the evening works for me.
Yes,
And it can work for me, not during the day, though, but.
Yeah, 17th works for me.
yes.
Yeah.
At what time?
So I guess we can move on then to zoning amendment. 7.8. I have a motion, council accepts this report as presented and further, excuse me, direct staff to process the zoning amendment application. And they're moving a second, moved by Councilor Buckle, seconded by Councilor Robinson. Comments, questions? Councilor Ricky Schultz.
Just what does that like, there was that acronym, and is that just an acronym that they can't use it for anything else? SLR,
LSR,
yeah,
limited service
Limited
residential.
service residential,
yeah, so,
that's a zone.
so basically, they can't build on that funky piece of property that they're trying to get.
No, so the purpose of, so the lot that's gonna be added to is currently zoned LSR.
Oh, okay, that lot,
So,
okay, I didn't get that,
so their current lot is zoned LSR, so the county is requesting that the addition, the piece that's gonna be added to that lot is also zoned LSR.
okay, that, and so that has certain restrictions on it, so,
It has its requirements, yes.
okay, all right, perfect.
But it wouldn't prevent them from their building that they're planning on.
No.
Any other questions? Seeing none, Councilor Burns,
Yes,
Councilor Buckwald,
Yes.
Councilor Robinson,
Yes.
Councilor Ricky Schultz,
Yes,
and a yes, that's carried. Thank you. I have a motion that council accepts correspondence items 9.1.1 to 9.1.4 as information. And I will over a second, moved by Councilor Robinson, seconded by Councilor Ricky Schultz. Councilor Burns,
yes,
Councilor Buckwald,
Yes.
Councilor Robinson,
Yes.
Councilor Ricky Schultz,
yes,
and a yes. Very, thank you. Item number 9.2.1 is the dispatcher appreciation week. And motion that staff reach out to the union president requesting social media materials for staff to display appreciation messages on the electronic boards and social media during dispatcher appreciation week. And then move in a second, moved by Councilor Barco, seconded by Councilor Burns. Comments, questions? Seeing none, Councilor Burns,
yes,
Councilor Barco,
Yes.
Councilor Robinson,
Yes.
Councilor Representative,
yes,
and yes, that is carried. Yep. Item 9.2.2 is the Ontario Senior of the Year Awards. I have a motion to council submit nominations for the 2023 Senior of the Year Award by email to the clerk by Thursday, April the 13th, 2023. And we're gonna move in a second, moved by Councilor Robinson, seconded by Councilor Burke. Does anybody have a name that might come to mind? Councilor Burke?
Elmer Shea, he's a volunteer driver for years for the senior center.
Okay. He lives in our municipality.
Yeah,
Sorry, what was the name?
Elmer Shea, he goes by Joe.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know, there's lots of other people like that, but he's been a volunteer driver for years.
Well, that's a start. That's one name. Anybody from the ranking area?
well, I mean, we're at Virtues and stuff for years and years, and years, like, and just volunteering in a number of different ways, right? At the volunteer firefighters department, and so the rank itself and other guys.
I should get out.
I don't
I don't think so.
think so.
I think
she has.
Yeah,
You're the house, yeah.
Yeah.
did she win? Yeah, so much for that one. I was trying to think too, and nobody came to mind at all.
Yeah.
I would think Dale Brennan was or, but I think we nominated her.
She already received
Yeah.
the award.
Yeah. Has, what's her name? Judy Sylvie? Didn't get in?
I'm not, that I'm aware of. She has.
She
That
has.
was BV, she got the Senior of the Year Award. yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, we have till the 13th, but at least we have one name if no one has come in.
Is there anybody that you don't with Canada for the Golden Lake Property Owners Association?
I don't know if they're seniors.
No.
They are.
I don't wanna. Like, I've never met Sylvie Hillier. But I talked to her on the phone and she was volunteering actively, but I don't know how old she is, like, I have no idea.
Yeah. Okay.
I've never met her in person. If anyone knows her, Sylvie Hillier. Or Hillier.
How about anyone on the,
Like Dory, yeah, that's why I thought I can't, there's no older people
on there?
that are, no. They're more, not quite as old.
You know, Kevin Clark volunteered at, I don't know if he's ever gotten it, but he volunteered at the doggy pile and the water festival.
Yeah, he did ball back in the day for the kids.
And he did lots for the recreation center.
I mean, they've been involved in recreation forever. My worry would be if you make it Kevin and not Chris Healy. you might have that. But I guess there's nothing saying it couldn't be awarded to two people, or does it have to specifically?
It's individual.
It is, okay.
How about anyone on, the Shawwoods, outdoor group?
Yeah, I'm thinking, I don't know, it's just really us two that live right in North Algona, who else?
As far as I know, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Well, we have one name, so
We can start there.
we'll start there.
There's nobody on the skating or figure skating or library, right, that has donated a lot of their time, that we know,
No,
or minor hockey. I mean,
Not a senior.
the only one that's on the library would have been Judy.
okay,
That's from, this Alana is still,
right, okay,
Yeah.
all right, okay. That was just a thought.
most of the ones I know, I think these.
Yeah,
Only other one I think of is maybe Lorraine Schrader or Schrader. I'm not sure if she volunteers at the senior needs. Lorrain,
She used to work there, but I don't know if she's in.
I don't know if she was working there or if she was volunteering.
She was, I think, getting paid to be
Or she-
there.
Okay.
Well, maybe we can figure something out.
yeah,
At least we have one, like our person.
We have another week.
that's right. I'll call a vote. Council Burns,
Yes,
Council Blackwell,
Yes.
Council Robinson,
Yes.
Council Victor Trumpo.
Yes,
And a yes, no carry, thank you. Item 9.2.3 is the Association of Ontario Road Supervisors. So I have a motion, whereas Enbridge recently made an announcement of their intention to begin charging third-party contractors and other utilities $200 Canadian, plus applicable taxes for utility locates where a field locate is required. And whereas third-party contractors include Ontario municipalities, and whereas these local requests are only required as Ontario municipalities have allowed utilities to use municipal right of ways at no charge to the utilities. And whereas this announcement of new download costs will negatively impact the budgets of Ontario municipalities, which are already burdened. And whereas if Enbridge is successful in implementing this new charge, a precedent is set for other utility companies to also begin charging for locates. Therefore, be it resolved that the Township of North Algona Wilberforce strongly opposes these utility locate costs being downloaded to Ontario municipalities by Enbridge Gas or other utilities. And that the province of Ontario's Ministry of Public and Business Service Delivery make it clear that these costs must be borne by the utilities themselves. And that this decision be forwarded to the Minister of Public and Business Service Delivery, Kaylee Rashid, Minister of Infrastructure, Kinga Surma, Minister of Energy, Todd Smith, Premier Doug Ford, the Township of North Algona's MPP, John Yakubuski, the Association of Ontario Road Supervisors, and the Association of Municipalities of Ontario. That was a mouthful. Moved by Councilor Byrd, seconded by Councilor Shalfo. Comments, questions? Seeing none, Councilor Byrd,
Yes.
Councilor Buckle,
Yes.
Councilor Robinson,
Yes.
Councilor Shalfo,
Yes,
and a yes, that's carried, thank you. And 9.2.4 is the Portland Township Food Insecurity. And the motion is that council supports Portland Township resolution regarding food insecurity in Ontario, and further that this resolution be sent to the Honorable Doug Ford, Premier of Ontario, MP Cheryl Gallant, Renfrew Nipissing Pembroke, MPP John Busby, Renfrew Nipissing Pembroke, the Honorable Lisa Thompson, Ontario Minister of Agriculture, Food and Rural Affairs, the Honorable Steve Clark, Minister of Municipal and Rural Affairs and Housing, and Peggy Breggebelt, President of Ontario Federation of Agriculture. Can I get a mover in a second? Moved by Councilor Robinson, seconded by Councilor Shalfo. Comments, questions? Seeing none, Councilor Byrd,
Yes.
Councilor Buckle,
Yes.
Councilor Robinson,
Yes.
Councilor Shalfo,
yes,
and a yes, that's very, thank you. Item 9.2.5 is the asset management workshop. The motion is that council directs staff to register the following members of council and staff for April the 27th, 2023 asset management workshop in Bossier Valley. And that is at Eagle's Nest. Can I get a mover and a seconder? Moved by Councilor Byrd, seconded by Councilor Buckle. Members who would like to go, Councilor Burns, Councilor Robinson, myself, Councilor Shalfo,
yeah,
Councilor Buckle.
Yes.
Got them all? It's everybody. Okay, great. I'll call the vote. Councilor Burns,
Yes.
Councilor Buckle,
Yes.
Councilor Robinson,
Yes.
Councilor Shalfo,
yes,
and a yes, it's carried, thank you. Item 9.2.6 is the ending violence against women. I have a motion that the Township of North Algona Wilberforce supports the County of Renfrew resolution. That the Council for the County of Renfrew declares IVP or intimate partner violence, VAW violence against women and epidemic, as per recommendation number 1 of the Renfrew County jury recommendations, and further that this resolution of support be sent to the County of Renfrew. It is moved by Councilor Robinson, seconded by Councilor Byrd. Comments, questions? Seeing none, Councilor Byrd,
Yes.
Councilor Buckle,
Yes.
Councilor Robinson,
Yes.
Councilor Shalfo,
yes,
and a yes. And item number 10 is bylaws. I have a bylaw that council enacts the following bylaw 2023-16, being a bylaw to appoint 2 alternative or alternate mayors. And again, a mover and a seconder, moved by Councilor Buckle, seconded by Councilor Byrd. And the 2 alternates, my thought was that they could be Councilor Shalfo as number 1, and the backup would be Councilor Robinson. If council's agreeable with that. And you do the 2 candidates accept?
mhm, yes.
Okay, thank you. I'll call the vote. Yeah, sorry.
Just in the actual bylaw, I have a concern with the wording. Clause number 2. That appoints Councilor Robinson as the second alternate head of, in the office of the mayor, and the first alternate. Semicolon. We already have a first alternate in clause 1. I just think it's a matter of clearing up those 4 words.
Why would you fix it?
So how I read that, Councillor Robinson would act if the mayor was absent
Oh,
and the first alternate was absent.
sorry, I took and the first alternate in a different meeting. Okay.
Okay,
Darn English.
Yeah. One of these days, I'm gonna learn to speak that thing.
I hear you.
Now, I put the as the second alternate and the first alternate together, but yes, there's no comma in there. I stand corrected.
It's okay.
I feel kind of silly.
so we'll call the vote, okay, Councilor Byrne,
Yes,
Councilor Blackwell,
Oh, yes.
Councilor Robinson,
Yes,
Councilor Reggie Shanto.
Yes,
And yes, that's carried, thank you. Are there any matters of urgency? Any notices of motion? Reports from committees we've done. Upcoming meetings and unfinished business. So we have a meeting on April the 13th, 2023, which is the Recreation Committee at 6 p.m. We will have our public meeting on April the 18th, 2023 at 6:45. And we will have our regular council meeting on April 18th, 2023 at 7 p.m.
mention the one on the 17th.
the 17th is not on
Yeah,
the budget meeting.
so we will need to add then the special budget meeting on April 17th, 2023 at 7 p.m.
Yeah,
as a reference.
so is the public meeting, like the budget public meeting?
Yes,
So the public meeting at 6:45, the public meeting virtual on.
Okay, and that's what I thought, so I don't know, somehow in brackets, do we want to say the budget public meeting will be also in our regular meeting?
That would be on the agenda.
Okay, yeah, and that's what I thought, I was just slightly confused there.
so that brings us to our confirmatory bylaw. Or we don't have any closed, right? Okay. So bylaw 2023-18 being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of council for April the 4th, 2023. We read it first and second time this 4th day of April, 2023. And I'm gonna move in a second and moved by Councilor Buckwell, seconded by Councilor Reggie Shanto. We read a third time and finally passed this 4th day of April, 2023. Councilor Burns,
Yes,
Councilor Buckwell,
Yes.
Councilor Robinson,
yes,
Councilor Reggie Shanto.
Yes,
And yes, that's carried, thank you. And finally, I have a motion that this April 4th, 2023 regular meeting of council adjourns at 8:04 p.m. Moved by Councilor Burns, seconded by Councilor Robinson. Comments, questions? Councilor Burns?
yes.
Councilor Buckwell?
Yes.
Councilor Robinson?
yes.
Councilor Reggie Shanto?
yes.
Very, thank you very much. We're adjourned.